Game loaded.
And we are live with our regular show every Saturday of Hacking the Fifth. Hacks, homebrews, and home rules for the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So, last time we were creating variant rules based on the faction turn on It Starts Without Number. We're going to visit that at the end of the program, but I want to start with more creatures. I've been playing around with Doom, the Doom series, for a while. I've been playing. I'm streaming on the week, and I'll be streaming probably later on tonight. Doom 3, the BFG edition. But I'm also playing Doom and Doom 2. And I always wanted to turn many of these monsters, especially the more purely magical monsters, into, into D&D monsters. And that shouldn't surprise anybody. I'm sure there's tons of those conversions around for older editions. In part because id Software, when they created Doom, people who created Doom were in fact based the game on their ongoing Dungeons & Dragons or Advanced Dungeons & Dragons by the time adventure. So I'm going to do 3 conversions. I'm going to do the Imp. I have to call it something else, maybe a Shredder Demon or something, because Imps exist in Dungeons & Dragons. I'm going to do the Cackle Demon and the Baron of Hell or Hell Knight. Probably call it Demonic Minotaur or something like that. So let's start, shall we? Creature conversions. Now, as a side note, I got a message on the RD&D boards on my last video by Yonka3. He reminds me that since I have a mic, I should speak into it. If I'm looking up notes or consult books, I can either pause or speak louder so the mic picks it up. Yes, I have to remember to enunciate. That's always good. I also mentioned something about getting rid of the camera here. Now, the reason I'm not going to get rid of the camera is because I use my hands and motions, what have you, and I like to do that. So I'm afraid the camera, for now, will be staying. If it becomes such a burden to the audience, then they should be going. I shouldn't use it anymore. Then yeah, that's going to be a thing. But at least I hope that the sound volume and the clarity therein is higher. Also, I have to do post editing, audio editing after the release, so that of course you can hear my voice. Sometimes things you can hear on the live stream don't necessarily translate well to the video, to the MP4. So I have to work on that. So a little post-processing does happen. So we are here. Creature conversions from Doom. Also, the reason why I'm doing these creatures is that while Dungeons & Dragons has a ton of demons and devils and all kinds of things, they're later on in the adventure I'm working on, which is the Unnameable Evil, there are also demons and devils and all that as well involved. And I like to have a few of my own, just to add some spice and variety. Of course, if my players ever see this, they'll know that they exist in the stats. But, sorry. Apologies. I'm willing to take that risk. So let's start with the Imp. Imp / Shredder Demon. They're all demons. They're all chaotic evil. I'm calling it Shredder Demon because it's spiky and that's what it does. It's, when it attacks, it has a. So let's do a catalog of the basic things that the imp has in the Doom game. Um, Tough, leathery skin. That should translate to a better than uh, armor class 10. I would say armor class AC 13. That should be a thing. Also, they are very quick and they use both their claws on attack. So I'm gonna say that melee have a multi attack. 2 claw attacks. They're slashing. And they have a fireball. They basically throw a relatively slow fireball, but it doesn't have it's not that slow. So I'm just going to borrow a spell from the player handbook and say that that's their primary range attack. Let's say maybe they can do firebolt as a firebolt seems to be the equivalent of what they can do. Whenever possible, I take stuff that is already here and use it. So let's read what firebolt can do. This is very similar to your attack. Firebolt, evocation cantrip, range 120 feet. It fits, especially with the original monsters. They can shoot their balls of fire across the entire map. So 120 feet is good. You hurl a mote of fire at a creature or object within range. It doesn't have area attack, so this works. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 fire damage. A flammable object hit by the spell ignites it. I'm going to leave it at 1d10 because it's a good range attack and they already have a multi-attack on close range. So let's say that they have range attack is firebolt. 1d10 damage. They can do that. They can do either the multi-attack on melee or we'll keep the movement, everything else to be the same, 30 feet per round, etc. So they're not particularly strong, so we can use the stat block for a bandit. Non-player characters. We can go here. We can go to non-player characters in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I'll use a bandit as the basic. Maybe get up the values some. According to the Dungeon Master Guide, you can modify a monster, and you also have quick creation rules. For example, on page 274, it has a table and it says the following. Let me show it to you. No, that's not what I wanted to show. Sorry. Okay, here we are. And I'll read the following block. If all you need is a simple stat for monsters of a particular challenge range, follow the steps here. If you want to create something more akin to the monster stats in the monster manual, skip ahead to the creating monster stat block. Let's skip ahead to that part because I want to be as to the creating a monster stat block. Okay. It says here, if you want to a full monster stat block. Use the following method to create your new monsters. The introduction to the monster manual explains all the components of a monster stat block. Familiarize yourself with the material before you begin, of course. Arthur's Blood Talon, welcome to the stream. Apologize, I was checking this part out. Once you have a concept in mind, follow the steps below. Name, we have that. Size, it's going to be medium. Type, it's going to be a demon, a fiend. Alignment, always chaotic evil. Ability scores and modifiers. This is the part that we're going to use. Monster can have a score lower than 1 and higher than 30. It's not going to have anything huge. So okay, let's give it the stat block, shall we? Okay. Okay. Let's have its strength, dex, con, int, for wisdom, and charisma. Let's give it a 13. I'll give it a simple +1. I don't think it has particularly. Think the imps in. They're not particularly dexterous, so just give it a 10. Let's give it a 10. They don't. They're +0. 0, not 10. Well, con. They're kind of okay. I'm gonna give them a demons tend to be very sturdy, so let's give them a +2. They're not particularly smart, but they're a little more, I would say, than animal intelligence. So an 8. That's a -1. Same thing with wisdom. They're not very smart or particularly wise, so I'll give them a 9 just to. And they're certainly not charismatic, so I'm just going to give them a 7. 7 here, so -2. So they're strong and have good constitution, so they can take some hits, but otherwise they're not very remarkable. Also give them intelligence and wisdom a 9 because you can easily surprise them in the game, so that's what I'm going to do. We go back to DMG. Expected challenge rating. Choose a challenge rating for your monster. See step 1 on the creating quick monster for more information. Armor class. We already have the armor class. Let's see if it's at the other table. It's medium, so the hit die it's gonna be. Say okay. Let me jump to hit points here. Assign hit die. Tell them you can assign a number of hit die to a monster, then calculate average hit points. Don't worry if your hit points aren't matching up with the expected challenge rating for the monster. Let's see. It's not that tough. So it's medium size. So let's add the fact that it's a medium creature. Size medium. Speed. It's not too fast, not too slow. So it's let's go with armor class 13, which is natural armor. Doesn't have a bonus. Multi-attack. Okay, I'm thinking it's gonna do a lot of damage per 2d6 plus 1 per attack. Following the rules, usually in 5th edition, they up the damage, usually by adding an additional die. So I'm gonna go with that. It's demonic, it's supposed to be a threat. It's supposed to literally shred you when they close into melee. So no bite attack though. What else? Well, we need saving throws. Saving throws. Attack bonus. attack bonus, and well, attack bonus. So we're gonna do the following. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna go back to the table, and here is where it gets interesting because monster day by challenge rating. I'm gonna give it at least a full CR. That's well done. I'm thinking that for a party of 4 players, one shouldn't be. If we're talking this demon should appear at least at second tier characters. So we're talking about level 5 or higher, maybe even a bit higher. And you usually confront these enemies in groups of 2s or 3s. They should be a challenge. Say, I'm gonna put challenge rating 5, which gives us a higher armor class of 5 is 33 to 38. That's 2d6 is 2d12. Well, the hit points really change a lot. Wow. Okay, let's modify. Let's make it a challenge rating 5. Because for high level characters, when they confront this, it's going to be, it's a CR 5. So say 3 of them show up, they can really be a threat of party of level 4 characters. Level 15, sorry, characters or higher. So that means that they have a proficiency bonus of +3. So their saving throws then should be, you know, I'm gonna add slash here, so it's +4, +3, +5, +2, +2, and +1. Not standard array, I know, but +3 and +3 attack bonus. Actually, it has a lower attack bonus. But CR should have more hit die. If it suggested 131 to 145 hit points, that seems a bit high. Okay, it says armor class 1500 hit points, damage per round, and DC saving throw. Doesn't have any attacks that have DC saving throw, so that shouldn't count. Wow, that's something. Oh, that's really okay. Let me look at let's look at the at a monster manual monster that has a challenge rating of 5, because I don't know. Okay, challenge rating 3, hit points 75. That's a winter wolf. A little okay. Let's look at demons. Has to be a demon that has at least challenge rating 5 or higher. Dark mantle is 0.5. Oh, that's a bit too high. Let's go to demons. Demons. And I have to remember to speak to the mic. People can hear me. Okay, that's too bit too high. Okay. This is right up with the Balgura, I think. On page 56 of the Dungeon Master, the Monster Manual. Hit points 68. AD 10 plus. Oh, that doesn't seem so much. Okay. It's a large demon. Has an 8 pale casting, blah blah blah. Okay. Just copying the stat block. Actually, it's not that many hit points. It seems that the suggestion in, unless I'm reading it wrong, the suggestion in the Dungeon Master Guide doesn't match the what the. What they're telling me in the other book, right? DMG and Monster Manual are not meeting in the same place. That's weird. If I go, for example, of the Bagura, right? This is 2d6 plus 1, which means it's from 3 to 13 damage. So the damage output is a bit low, but they come in packs. I guess I can go up a little bit more. Natural armor 15. Immunities. What's that? Resistance. Oh, the resistance to fire. Doesn't need any more, so it's not that tough. Resistance to fire. CR 5. Okay, hit die. Hit die, hit die, hit die. Hit die. Any suggestions? Arthur's Blood Talon? Because I'm stumped here. Okay, hit die's going to be 5d8. I'm going to go straight plus 2. Actually, let me say that no, these are only has bonus on strength and con saves. So those are the saving throws are plus 3. That means it's strength plus 4 and constitution plus 5. That's 5. That should be for our Shredder Demons for now. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Let me consult here. Hit point speed. It has no climbing speed. It has no real skills to having throws, damage immunities, not immune to anything. The challenge rating, so it's 1800 experience points per monster. That's a lot of XP. But it's a high level monster, so that's not a problem. Let's put the XP here. Sense of fire, sense. No, it doesn't have blind sight. It just has dark vision. It's a demon after all. Passive perception is pretty low. Languages it understands. Doesn't speak it. Understands, but does not speak Abyssal or Abyssal. And the XP should be 1800. That seems about right for our Shredder Demon. Next up is our Caco Demon. Caco Demon. There seems to be a... Well, there probably is a Caco Demon in D&D, but we're going to keep the name for now. But the Cacodemon looks very much like a beholder. So we're going to go to the beholder and see what we get there. It's a pretty powerful enemy. This one won't be that powerful. But it's a beholder. And we're just going to go for the basic beholder. No, it doesn't have any layer action, so it's not that powerful. A regular beholder is challenge rating 13. Let's make our Cacodemon, because it doesn't have a lot of abilities, a little bit lower than that. Our Cacodemon is a aberration. What's it? Is a fiend, really? / aberration. Fiend. Aberration. Could be more than one thing, right? Let's look at special abilities. Size. It is large. It's a large, nasty creature with a central eye, a bite attack, and a beholders have a fly of 20 feet. So they can hover. So let's give him that as well. Doesn't have any legs, so it doesn't walk. So it's slow, but it has a so it's speed. It's fly. 20 feet / hover. So that means that it can fly regular intervals, and it can also stop and hover. This one doesn't have any eye stalks, so let's copy the let's copy this and then modify the stat block here. Let's cut. So, is our Cacodemon as smart and as other demon? I would say no. I'm gonna give it a 15 for 2 and a 12 for 1. I mean, they're basically aberration. They're versions of the beholder, but a simplified version of the beholder. It kind of looks like a beholder. So, saving throws. If it's changed down to 6, down to 6 again, and what's a charisma? Didn't change the charisma though. Where's our charisma? Okay, charisma's over here. Charisma's over here. Charisma +3. I want to say this guy is not as charismatic. It's not a leader type or anything, so it loses 3 points. So that puts it at 5. It doesn't really have a great perception either. Okay, it's we're gonna make it a CR 10 creature, double the one we had before. So at CR 10, going back to DMG, CR 10 we have +4, armor class 16, AC 16. It's +4. So okay, let's recalculate here. Let's not have a charisma with instead we have intelligence 6 and wisdom 5. And its perception, again, one central eye, doesn't have the multiple eye stalks, so it doesn't necessarily have great perception. I'm going to leave the immunities at being, can be prone. No, passive perception is not that high. It's 11, actually. And it's Lysol. Challenge rating, like I said it before, it's a 10. So that means that if we go to the table for 10, sorry, if you're not hearing me, sorry, I sometimes have a problem with speaking on the tape. Okay, 10, it's 5,900 experience. 5,900. And let's talk about attacks. It has melee attack, bite. Let's make the bite a crunchy one. 4, 6, 8, 10. So let's say +4. That's basic attack. It has a range attack. This one is going to be similar to the imp, a firebolt, but it's going to be higher. Let's make it a 2d12 +5. That should really make that spit something awful. And a special attack, fiery gaze. Now, this one, and again, I have to remember to speak into the mic, will be based on another spell here. And this time will be heat metal. Essentially, I know it should have a recharge, by the way. We'll put a recharge on it. So if heat metal, second level transmutation spell. Has 2d8 fire damage. Okay, so fire gaze. Any creature in a cone, I'll make it a cone attack. Yes, we can make it a cone attack, and let's make it 5 by 30. 5 at the base, 30 feet. 5 by 30 feet. So it's a very large cone. Must make a what's a saving throw? What's saving throw for heat metal is oh, it doesn't have a saving throw. Saving throw takes no. Any metal object within sight of the Caco demon heats up if the object is held or worn by a creature. The creature takes 2d8 damage, fire, until it drops or sheds the item. So like an armor or something like that. That makes it pretty powerful, right? Imagine this guy shows up, blast you with the eye, recharge. Let's make it a 6, right? Something that he has to recharge. And do it once, and then you get rid of whatever. It has a recharge. I want to give it a DC. I don't think it's fair not to give it a DC. So let's see what the suggested DC for anything here. So it's very similar to the anti-magic cone on the Beholder, right? Central Eye. Beholder Central Eye creates an area of anti-magic as an anti-magic field as a 150-foot cone. At the start of turn, Beholder decides which way. Okay, let's make it 100-foot cone instead of a 30. Let's make it a truly impressive cone. Okay. Within 150 feet cone. Well, the Kakamina heats up. Okay. DC again. Let's look at the DCs here. I'll list it should be 8 plus intelligence, so 8, 11, and it's a CR 10, so CR 10 plus 4, that's a 50. DC 15, which it should be high, but not DC 15. Say let's make it a Constitution save. Constitution save. Any creature with catches on fire. Catches on fire. Taking 2d8 damage fire until they make their saving throw. Until they make a saving throw. And recharge 6. I mean that. Okay, here's the thing. Kako Demon comes floating up. The first attack is blast you with the eye. So it has to be a deliberate attack, and then starts spitting up fire or goes into melee. Immunities. Okay, let's give it's a high level demon, so it's resistance to fire, and let's give it half damage from non-magical piercing, slashing, or similar attack. Slashing or piercing, slashing, and is it hacking? Hacking. I'm gonna put hacking for now. I'm sure that's wrong, but no, piercing, slashing, and blunt damage. Yeah, blunt damage. So that should, yeah, we're just gonna put it. I think CR10 is fine. It doesn't have all the attacks of a regular beholder, but it still has some pretty powerful stuff. So this should be fine. Melee bite 1d10. It's plus 4 melee. Fire spit is range, so it's plus 6 range. That seems right. Immunity to prone. It takes resistance from fire and from non-magical weapons. It's a pretty tough creature, but not invincible. Seems like a good CR 10. Let's look at the hit die, shall we? Hit die. Again, hit die for beholder. Let's look at the hit points. 180. We knocked down 2. So wait, let's knock out 3 hit die. So it's 19. It's D10. So let's make it 15. 15 hit die. 15 D10 plus. Oh wow, that's 40 plus 60. Whoa, wowza. So the hit points. Okay, it's hit points. It's the average, so 5. 100 and let's give it 110 HP. Could be more, could be less. It's pretty mighty, single target kind of guy. That's our Kako Demon. And then we go finally to 1 or 2, which is the Barons of Hell or the Hell Knights. Let's make it a hellish Hell Minotaur. Which sounds something like out of the sounds like something out of 3rd edition, where it's like, oh, Minotaur, put the fiendish, you know, or outsider, you know, slap outsider on it, and you're ready to go. So it's a fiend. Oh, of course, alignment. All these features are chaotic evil. They're very nasty, brutish things. Hell Minotaur. I might change the names, of course, later on, but this is what we're gonna go with right now. What are the things that this particular? Okay, let's look at Minotaur. We're gonna modify a Minotaur. Minotaur. I say tomato, you say tomato, manticore, Medusa, Mephit, Mephits, Merfolk. We're not doing Merfolk. Minotaur. Okay. Let's copy the stat block, and see where it goes. Where's the intelligence on this one? Oh, that's a lot of hit points. Okay. We didn't copy the intelligence for some reason. Oh, charisma. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a dexterity. So that's +2. I'm gonna up the con to 4. I make it a human intelligence. You know what? No, this guy is smart enough, so no bonus, no penalty. He's wise, and well, he's monstrous, so I keep the charisma. So perception, I'm gonna up the challenge rating. We did 3 for the Shredder/Imp. We did 10 for the Caco Demon. This one's supposed to be pretty tough, so I'm gonna go with 12. Yeah, this guy is really nasty. So hit points, 12, and it's plus 48. So 160, 100, it's 108. He's also tougher, so I'm gonna give it 16. Dark vision, passive perception. It's 10 plus 6. Okay, let's see if the Minotaur Y has a. It says has a passive perception of. Okay, again, let's go to the New Master's Guide. This guy 13, so it's +5. Not quite. Okay. Okay, let's up armor class to 18. He's supposed to be pretty tough. So it's 5. So it's 8. So our perception is 18, actually. Language is abyssal. No, did I? Okay, no, I made it. Okay, that was a mistake. It's 7. So it's 17. 7. So 17. Okay. What else? He doesn't have a charge attack like a regular. I mean, he looks like a Minotaur, but he's not really. Let's put Baron of Hell, Hell Minotaur, or he moves pretty fast, which is consistent too with the monster in the game. What else? Special attacks, melee. He has 2 fists, but he's a large creature, so it's 2d8. Multi attack, 2d fist. 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 So, fist, bludgeoning, 2d8 plus 4 per attack. Range. It's green plasma in the game, but I'm gonna say it's acid. Glob of acid. 2d10 plus 4, 6, 8, 10 plus 4. Single attack. To hit. It's 8 to hit, plus 6, so he's more dangerous in melee, of course. What else? Oh, resistances and damage. So yeah, he's gonna be pretty tough. Resistances, non-magical, um, piercing, slashing, bludgeoning. Is that the way you said? Okay, bludgeoning. Acid, fire. Seems about right. Our CR is 12, correct? Challenge rating challenge is 12, so the experience points come at how much? 8,400, and they come in pairs. So when they show up, no, so 8,400. So when these two show up, if they're, I expect the characters will encounter them around level 12 to 14. So one or two of them would really be a real challenge to them. That's what I'm expecting. So these are the three monsters I'm preparing. The idea is that the player characters will have to go to a labyrinth. So similar to Doom, right? To search for an artifact. They have to go to one place. They find the entrance to the labyrinth, which is in the a plane of 1,000 portals, which is the first plane of the abyss. They're in a race to get to this artifact, and the entire labyrinth is designed to protect the artifact, right? The person who created the labyrinth knows that people will go for this artifact because this artifact essentially is, it's like a phylactery or a leech, although the creature I'm talking about is not exactly a leech. That's even more powerful than that, but depending on how you measure it. And if they find it, basically they can kill this creature, right? Or even control it. So he knows people are going to look for it. They might even find it. So the idea is to create this maze wherein full of traps and stuff like that, just like in the original Doom, very hellish, full of monsters and zombies and these special creatures that he created to guard and to kill anything that goes in there. Also made a pact with Baphomet and all that so that some of these creatures invade and whatnot. And it has orcs and all like that. So, that's the reason why these monsters exist, right? They're designed to be the special guardians of this place created by them. So that's going to be part of that. Now, going back to what I did before, about factions. Let me see. I can change this. Let's see. I'm speaking to the mic again. Okay. I talked about in the last time about creating rules, and these are the rules, right? Bringing factions to life using the character creation rules modified by some of the aspects of starts without number in the faction turn to create factions as characters in 5th edition. Now I'm gonna add more stuff to this later on, but I wanted to correct a couple of things. First of all, yeah, the Harpers, the class is Bard, not Rogue, as I originally made, and they should have not only they have feats, but they should also have at least one as a faction. Okay, let's put this in the proper size. A class-based ability for the faction. So let's look at what a bard can do. All bards can do. We're looking, and it can do spell casting, and they have bardic inspiration, Let's look. Okay, let's look at what bardic inspiration can do. You can inspire others to steering words or music. To do so, you use a bonus action on your turn to choose one creature other than yourself within 60 feet of you who can hear you. That creature gains one bardic inspiration die, a d6. Once within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll the die and a numbered roll. Okay, so we're just gonna give Harper's bardic inspiration. They can give bardic inspiration as a free action to themselves. Basically, get an extra d6, like it says in the player handbook on page 53, or they can give inspiration to other factions. If they do nothing, okay. The Harpers can give as a free action, add a 1d6 to their next roll, or if they do not take an action and a faction turn action, they can inspire another faction using bardic inspiration. I think that fits because the way Harpers work in Forgotten Realms is they tend to work behind the scenes, and preferably they would work to help other factions. That would be the better. And the spies, they will either act by themselves or help other factions. So better to remain hidden, right? Because they're secretive. So I think that would be the way to go. I'm going to add other things to this as well. I'm going to constantly working on this back because I find it fascinating. But now we're reaching the bottom of the hour. So I'd like to thank Arthur's Blood Talent for joining us, and anyone else who was in chat. I'm going to be posting the video on my YouTube channel under Expanding the Fifth, and I'll also be posting links to the Google document of these first drafts, and then I will update them as I go along. So thank you very much for being here. As always, if you like this or any video on my channel, you can always follow them. Follow me. I'm looking to go to become an associate soon, if possible. So follows are always welcome. And tomorrow, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna be marathoning Read Only Memories 2064 as my quote unquote Christmas Eve and Christmas game for this year. So thank you for coming. If you have any comments or anything, you can always leave a comment here on the VOD. You can always send a message to me on my YouTube channel as well, and they're always welcome. Thank you for coming, and I'll be seeing you pretty soon. Goodbye.